Have you ever opened your phone to do one simple thing and somehow ended up scrolling for 30 minutes? Or walked into a room and completely forgot why you went there? Maybe you've noticed it's getting harder to focus, harder to stay motivated, harder to remember things. And maybe you've started wondering, what's wrong with me? The truth is, there may be nothing wrong with you. Your brain is simply adapting to the environment you're giving it. Because modern life is filled with habits that quietly weaken focus, memory, mental clarity, and emotional balance. The scary part? Most of these habits feel completely normal. They're so common that millions of people do them every single day without realizing the damage. But here's the good news. Your brain is incredibly adaptable. The same habits that weaken it can also strengthen it. So today, let's look at 12 daily habits that are secretly damaging your brain and what you can do instead. Some of these may surprise you, and chances are you're doing at least a few of them right now. Habit 1. Constantly switching between tasks. Most people think they're multitasking. They're not. They're rapidly switching attention, checking a message, answering an email, watching a video, opening another tab, going back to work, then checking their phone again. Every switch forces your brain to reset, and that reset costs mental energy. Over time, your brain becomes better at scanning and worse at focusing. That's why reading a book for 10 minutes can feel difficult. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, because you've trained your brain to expect interruption. Here's something simple to try. When you're reading, just read. When you're eating, just eat. When you're working, close the extra tabs. Those moments of uninterrupted attention slowly rebuild your ability to focus deeply. Habit 2. Destroying your sleep without realizing it. Most people don't ruin their sleep all at once. They do it gradually. One more episode, one more scroll, one more video. Then suddenly, it's 1 a.m. The problem is that sleep isn't just rest. It's repair. While you're sleeping, your brain organizes memories, regulates emotions, strengthens learning, and clears waste products that accumulate throughout the day. When sleep suffers, everything suffers. Focus, mood, memory, decision-making, motivation. And what's dangerous is how quickly people adapt. They start thinking brain fog is normal. They assume constant exhaustion is part of adulthood. But often, their brain simply hasn't recovered properly in months. If you're struggling mentally, don't underestimate the power of consistent sleep. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is go to bed earlier. Habit 3. Never allowing yourself to be bored. Here's a challenge. The next time you're waiting in line, don't touch your phone. Sounds easy, right? For many people, it isn't. The second boredom appears, they immediately seek stimulation. Phone, music, videos, scrolling, anything to fill the silence. But boredom actually serves an important purpose. It gives your brain space to think, to reflect, to process emotions, to connect ideas. Many of your best ideas probably didn't happen while consuming content. They happened while walking, showering, driving, or staring out a window. That's because your brain finally had room to breathe. Constant stimulation steals that opportunity. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is absolutely nothing, at least for a few minutes. Habit 4. Consuming more than you process. We live in an age of endless information, productivity videos, podcasts, books, motivational clips, self-improvement content. And yet, many people feel more stuck than ever. Why? Because consuming information isn't the same as using it. Watching 10 videos about discipline doesn't make you disciplined. Reading 5 books about confidence doesn't make you confident. Knowledge becomes valuable only when it's applied. Most people don't have an information problem. They have an implementation problem. The next time you learn something useful, pause. Ask yourself, what is one thing I can actually do with this? One action creates more change than 100 saved videos. Habit 5. Living in constant noise. When was the last time you experienced complete silence? No music, no podcast, no video, no background noise. For many people, it's been years. There's always something playing. And while entertainment isn't bad, constant stimulation can exhaust your attention system. Your brain needs moments of quiet. Just like your muscles need recovery after exercise, without those recovery periods, mental fatigue builds up, slowly, almost invisibly. Then one day you wonder why your thoughts feel scattered, why you can't concentrate, why your mind feels tired. Sometimes it's because your brain never gets a chance to be quiet. Try taking a walk without headphones, drive without audio. Sit quietly for a few minutes. You may discover that silence feels surprisingly refreshing. Habit 6. Overloading your brain with short-form content. Let's be honest, short videos are incredibly addictive. One video becomes 10, 10 becomes 50, and before you know it, an hour has disappeared. The issue isn't that short-form content exists. The issue is what happens when it becomes your primary source of stimulation. Your brain adapts to speed, constant novelty, instant rewards, rapid dopamine spikes. Then real life starts feeling slow. Books feel slow, work feels slow, learning feels slow, even conversations feel slow. Not because they've changed, because your brain's stimulation baseline has changed. The good news? Attention can recover. Start consuming fewer things more deeply. Read longer content. Watch fewer but more meaningful videos. Practice staying with one thing longer than feels comfortable. That's how focus returns. Habit 7. Living under constant stress. Your brain wasn't designed to stay in survival mode all day, yet many people do exactly that. Financial worries, work pressure, information overload, notifications, bad news, social comparison, constant urgency. The nervous system never gets a break, and chronic stress affects everything. Memory weakens, focus decreases, emotional control becomes harder, mental fatigue becomes constant. You might be physically resting while your mind is still racing. That's not recovery, that's survival mode. One of the healthiest things you can do is reduce unnecessary stress. You don't need every news update. You don't need every online argument. You don't need to absorb every piece of negativity on the internet. Protecting your peace is protecting your brain. Habit 8. Not moving enough. Many people think brain health is only mental. It's not. Physical movement directly affects your brain. Exercise improves blood flow, memory, learning, mood, focus, and emotional resilience. Yet modern life encourages the opposite. We sit while working, sit while eating, sit while driving, sit while watching content, then wonder why we feel sluggish. Sometimes what feels like an attention problem is actually an energy problem. Your body was designed to move, and your brain benefits when it does. You don't need an intense workout routine. A daily walk can make a remarkable difference. Simple habits often produce extraordinary results. Habit 9. Constant social comparison. Social media has made comparison easier than ever. Someone is richer, more successful, more productive, more attractive, more accomplished. At least that's what it looks like. The problem is that you're comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel. And even when you know it's edited, your brain still reacts emotionally. Comparison creates pressure, dissatisfaction, stress, and mental exhaustion. It pulls attention away from your own life, away from your own goals, away from your own progress. The more you focus on everyone else's journey, the less energy you have for your own. Your attention is valuable. Don't spend all of it watching other people live. Habit 10. Never truly resting. Most people don't know how to rest anymore. They only know how to escape. There's a difference. Scrolling for hours isn't necessarily rest. Watching random videos until 2 a.m. isn't rest. Constant stimulation isn't rest. Real rest restores your nervous system. Good sleep, nature, exercise, reflection, meaningful conversations, silence, time away from screens. Those things recharge your brain. If you've been feeling mentally drained lately, ask yourself this. When was the last time you truly rested? Not escaped, rested. The answer may explain a lot. Habit 11. Starting every morning with your phone. For many people, the day begins the same way. Alarm goes off, phone gets picked up, notifications, emails, social media, news, messages. Within seconds, the brain is overloaded. Before you've even gotten out of bed, you've already absorbed stress, information, comparison, and distraction. Your morning matters. It sets the tone for your entire day. When the first thing you consume is chaos, your brain enters reactive mode immediately. Instead, try creating a small buffer, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 15. Stretch, journal, plan your day, drink water, sit quietly. Give your brain a chance to wake up before the world starts demanding your attention. It's a small change with a surprisingly powerful effect. Habit 12. Neglecting real human connection. This might be the most overlooked habit of all. Human beings are wired for connection. Yet many people spend hours connected digitally and very little time connected emotionally. You can have thousands of followers and still feel lonely. You can receive dozens of notifications and still feel disconnected. The brain responds differently to genuine human interaction, a meaningful conversation, a laugh with a friend, time with family, feeling understood. These experiences reduce stress and improve emotional well-being in ways that social media never can. If you've been feeling overwhelmed lately, don't underestimate the power of real connection. Sometimes a simple conversation can do more for your mental health than hours of scrolling. Here's the encouraging truth. Your brain is constantly changing. Every day, you're either training it toward focus or distraction, toward clarity or overload, toward growth or exhaustion. The good news is that you don't need to fix everything overnight. Pick one habit, just one. Maybe it's sleeping earlier. Maybe it's spending less time on your phone. Maybe it's taking a daily walk. Small changes repeated consistently create massive results over time. Your focus can improve, your memory can recover, your mental clarity can return. And it all starts with one small decision today. If you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments which habit affected you the most. And more importantly, which one you're going to change first. Because your future brain is being shaped by what you do today. Let's make sure we're shaping it in the right direction.